Alright, so I was lying in bed, mind my own business. But, quite frankly, I can't get the story out of my head. Which, I just can't understand why. And it's probably because I didn't tell you guys anything. But, I think it's actually time now that I tell you, since school is out, and you guys need to know, okay? I'm gonna put on my animator glove here. Not animator, but drawing glove, because I like it. I put this on totally wrong. But I'm gonna wait till more people gets on here. But I might as well just start telling the story. So I asked this question on. I wish my chair wasn't so squeaky, but I made a video talking about how should Sally and Jack get in trouble for sitting by each other. A lot of people said yes, they shouldn't. They shouldn't get in trouble. That should be allowed. And quite frankly, I'm going to say this now, most bus drivers don't enforce that rule on the children, so most couples sit by each other. So, that's why I'm making this video. I gotta talk about this, because I think I gotta tell someone just to get my mind off it. So, one day, me and my girlfriend, I'm not saying her name, we sat by each other. We sat by each other all the time, and all the boys and girls sat by each other. But one day, the bus driver decided, hey, you sit in a different seat. Because boys and girls can't sit by each other. Which she's been a bus driver for 2 years. And now decided to enforce that rule. My question is, why didn't she tell anybody this yet? If she was so ready to tell me, and that's it, just tell me that boys and girls can't sit by each other. Why? So, we moved, whatever. And then, boys and girls started sitting by each other again, and then she decided, oh, well, I don't want to look like a hypocrite, so she obviously did the work for the rest. But with subs, they didn't enforce the rules. They didn't care to enforce the rules. So we sat by each other. And there'd be like a sub every 2, 3 days, a week, maybe once you can have a sub, but we were lucky to have a sub for 2 days. So these two kids who were brothers, four brothers actually, decided it would be fine to tell the bus driver everything. So obviously that meant Jackie had to move to a different seat. Next day, he tells the bus driver. I have a problem with this. Because she has such a problem with me sitting by each other, but yet she doesn't tell the subs that we're not allowed to sit by each other, doesn't tell anybody else that they doesn't tell all the people that they can't sit by each other. No, but yet they think we're going to respect the rule. No, we're not. There was more boys and girls sitting by each other than guys and girls were. And the worst thing was, there was more kids on there that were doing more inappropriate stuff than we were. We were hugging, kissing, whatever, holding hands. But it gets worse. She comes on the next day. She knows. She knows everything. From us sitting by each other, from whatever the bus driver told her. He knew. She knew. So she was thinking I'd lie. But I could see it in her eye that I knew she already knew. So, why lie? And if you think I'm lying, no. I knew she was gonna freaking yell at me. I tell her everything. So that we sat by each other. She yells at me to sit in the front. And I was almost graduating at this time. Remember that. I'm almost graduating. This happened on the last 2 days of school. 2 half days of school, technically. But before we do, you guys to know this. My phone was not having any service, so I couldn't look it up. 2, there was constant bullying every day on that bus. To me, to my girlfriend, everyone. Thirdly, I did not say names, nothing. So, I decided, why don't I ask the bus driver? I can't ask anybody else. Nobody else was sitting around me. I was in the front. Only a little kid was, and I don't think he knows that bullying's a law here in Missouri. So I asked her, Miss Sydney, is it illegal to bully? She stops the bus. So you think I'm bullying you? No, I say. I wanted to yell at her and say, did I say your name? But I didn't. I kept my mouth shut. So, she starts saying, it's school rules, not mine. I want to tell her this. Most bus drivers don't even enforce that rule. But I already knew that she was going to just tell, and then I was going to get more bullied. So I didn't care. So she tells me, look it up on your phone. You have a phone, don't you? And I wanted to say, and I did say this, doesn't do much good whenever I don't have service. So we drive through everything. I kept my mouth closed the entire way there. Not a peep left my mouth after that. Sure, I was listening to stuff, but I had service whenever we left my neighborhood. You might be saying that, why didn't you just have it there? And if you're wondering if I did actually find out that, is it allowed to bully in Missouri? It's not. So, we get there. We get to school. She tells me to stay in my seat. Fair enough, I didn't care. I actually wanted to get up and just say, I'll talk to her myself. But, of course, I don't. So, we get there. And she gets the principal onto the bus and starts telling her he's been sitting by Jack, my girlfriend, talking back, asking if bullying's a law, and then I cut her off. I'm like, I did not talk back to you. Second off, I asked if bullying was a law because there was some bullying going on, and I thought you would know. So, and then she said I started laughing at her. Let me tell you something. I don't laugh at people. Not if they're not saying anything idiotic, retarded, whatever. If I hear somebody going, oh, well, pineapples are a vegetable, then I'm gonna laugh. That's stupid. But I will not openly laugh at somebody that's trying to punish me in some way. Unless I do something so minuscule. Like, I don't know. Dropped a piece of paper on the floor by accident. That's not even important. It's like notebook paper, possibly the cheap brand or whatever. So, the principal was way more understanding. But I was still punished. I was punished with 50 sentences saying, I will obey the bus driver. No skin off my nose, I guess. I got them all done. 5, 10 minutes? Maybe? I don't know. But I had a doctor's appointment. I didn't feel so good that day. So my mom scheduled a doctor's appointment. So I said, Miss Tao, I need to give. I just said her name. Sorry. But I gave it to the principal saying, you have to give this to Miss Sydney. Because I'm leaving today. Early. So I leave early. Next day, however, I knew that it would change. I'd get on the bus and I'd go home. I'd go to school. Last day of school, all prepped. I get on the bus. She gives me a death glare. I'll have you know, every time when we're on the bus, before we get on the bus, she looks like this. But when she opens those doors, it's like a whole different person's right there. And she's like, hi, welcome on the bus. So, what happens? I get on the bus and she's like, do you have your homework assignment? I could have just said, yeah. It's for Miss Hoppy, not you. Darn it, why do I keep saying my teacher's name? Anyways, I said I gave it to Miss Tao. She looked at me like I was lying. She looked at me like I was an idiot. And she says, sit in that seat. Front row a second time. And it's not the last. I tell Miss Tao, please give it to her. She does. But I still get front seat. Every time this happens, this bus driver is mean. I'm a bad kid. Possibly the worst. But compared to everybody else on there, I'm a good kid. I try being good. Sure, I sit by girls, but I don't do anything wrong to them. And quite frankly, you're not making yourself very popular, Miss Sydney. You're really just being a jerk. Miss Sydney, if you're watching this, you know. The only reason why you punished me was because you thought you were in the right. Quite frankly, you're not. And if you do have a YouTube channel, or anything, which I don't think you even do, but I think if somebody even watched my video and they know who you are, like, personal level, and they show you this, and then you try making a response back, it won't end well. Really, it doesn't. None of anybody tried really responding to me whenever I talked about them. So, I could have filmed the entire thing, actually. Now that I think about it. And let me tell you something. How, whenever I say there's someone's getting bullied, you just sit there and go, no. You don't have an eye of a hawk. You think you do, but you don't. You go by speculation and your freaking cracky mirror. You're dumb. I don't even know why I'm acting like I think you're gonna watch this. Because I know that you won't. You do watch this, I don't want an apology. I don't want anything. And if you yell at me the next day, I'm gonna say I was outside of school. And if you want, I could take down this video. But I'm not. Not now. Maybe in the future. But not now. Now, time for the actual live stream. I'm probably going to have to put this on my second channel because, I don't know. Not my gaming channel, but my drawing channel. Someone's in the chat, actually. Live messages. Oh, that guy. Okay. But I like how she would act like she has an eye of the hawk, yet she only notices whenever I'm doing something wrong. Whatever. I don't care. Because I got people kicked off the bus. I think I can get a bus driver